mistakes are made. Grace needs to be given. But we have a tendency to hold others to a higher standard. Not we, but society has a tendency to hold others to a higher standard than they hold themselves. That's happening a lot right now. And there is a flood of emotion, a lot of mixed emotion about the departure from Afghanistan. And for anyone who is wondering right now, this will not be political. Ryan and I did talk about this earlier. We are an apolitical organization, and I'm not going to go down that path, but there's a moral and an ethical aspect to what we're talking about. And you have a lot of guys who served in Afghanistan who feel that it's all for naught. Why was I there? Why did I lose my best friend if we're not even going to see it through? And there's another side of it who says, we should have been out long ago and my friend would have lived. And they're all right. Nobody's wrong in that regard. But I'm not even sure that there's a question in where I'm going with this, but I'm as confused as anybody about it, Ryan.
Understood.
I mean, and yeah. you were very vocal about this recently on Instagram, and I want to give you the opportunity to follow that up.
Certainly. I do from time to time share views or share thoughts. It's funny how Instagram, social media, whatever it is, works because it gives you the platform 24/7 to be a voice. And I don't ever have anything I want to say publicly. I look at 90% of the time if I want to talk, I'm like, this is garbage. Or whatever. I'm not a public spokesperson, none of that stuff. So I usually internalize my thoughts, and then I'll talk to my internal teams or close teams, and I value opinions of the people that I trust. But one thing that it led me to think about and discuss, that where I went off on Instagram and social media, I'm kind of an old soul, and I always look back to my grandfathers who served in World War II. And I think about the generation that was just under my grandparents, because my grandfathers, they all joined serve. They fought in World War II. That was what you did. You're coming out of Great Depression. There's hard times in America, really, really hard times. And they're fighting a world war, and they win. And I'm in, I'll do it. And then you have that generation just getting old enough right under them to enlist to go do their part for this country when we closed out the wars. And they were watching this hope and this excitement and the power of America saying, we're ending this. We mean business. They were so young when they fought. They did it with such pride. They were so courageous. They developed continued the traditions of the United States Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, everything. And these younger generation that were watching this on, I guess, I was looking at it, the radios, everybody had radios that they were listening to it, and they were just glued to it. Some had TVs. They got to see this or hear this. And they had so much pride. And now I'm going to go fight for this country, or I'm going to believe in this country. And their parents and their brothers were the war fighters, so they had somebody to emulate and look up to. We come to 2021, and these same veterans that are still with us and alive, and that generation just underneath them, are watching the TV, and they're seeing us give everything up. And I always look back, and it's not a time of hope right now. That's not what we're portraying in the media. That's not what we're portraying in the country and the world. Everybody's confused. And so I feel heartbroken for them, because I served and I tried to continue on the path of the footsteps of those who laid it before me. And I tried to do my best while I was in service and hopefully pass that on to the next generation. But at the smaller level, not looking about politics or the globalized level of this, just a small level, what are we doing to these veterans that served in the greatest generation? How are we making them feel? Are we making them proud? And so again, there's so much that we could talk about this, and I'm not a politician. I am not trying to run for politics. I promise you listening right now, I will never run for office. So don't ever hear that. That will never happen. I will be fired the first day I get in. So not happening. But I'm an American and I'm a veteran, and I just want to do what's right to continue to preserve our country and work with our allies to make sure that we are still a very strong nation that people believe in.
Yeah, I feel like as an organ or as a country, we kind of had the wolf by the ears. Um, that's an old metaphor for, you can't hold on forever because your arms are going to get tired. But if you let go, you're going to get bit, or worse. And, again, I just, personally, I mean, my heart aches. You see these people that are literally falling off airplanes because that risk is less than if they were to stay there and face the other consequences. I mean, that's, we refer to that as the horn, on the horns of a dilemma. If the left one doesn't get you, the right one will. I mean, and it's, again, I don't know that there's a right answer. I mean, does it mean that people died in vain? We talked about this, earlier. I don't think so. And regardless of whether I agree with the decision or not, I don't think it was in vain, because I think some people were given a better opportunity at life at some point. Time will tell if it was the right decision or the wrong decision, but that's easy to be a historian in hindsight. And I just have to believe that those that we know who died over there, and we've known a few, it was not in vain. And I refuse to accept that it was.
Nope, it wasn't. It will never be in vain. It was, when you get overseas to fight, you put out, the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of your time overseas, you're getting all the, cobwebs shook off and you're just getting comfortable. And then you kind of throw out to the window that it doesn't matter if I die. I don't care, because I'm going to die doing the job I signed up for with the people that I love. And that's something that's so unique and beautiful about the military, is I never knew anybody in my SEAL team prior to me joining the military. They come from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, some different religious beliefs, whatever. And then you're there on the team, and then out of nowhere, you become best friends. It's so unique how that happens. And that happens because we always put mission above self, and we always have one mission, just one. So it's easy. And you get overseas and you feel like you're doing something because you're actually doing the job you signed up to do. And wasn't our call. We're not politicians. We don't make the call on whether we go to war or not. But hey, you tell a SEAL he's going to go fight. Awesome. I'm in. That's what I chose to do. That's what I wanted to do. And should I be able to die? And I don't know the statistic of how many died saving lives and how many died protecting their brothers, but I'm sure that it's a unique number of how many men and women actually died doing something unbelievably heroic. And so that's not in vain. You're over there in a crappy situation because war sucks, but you're trying to do the best you can. And you certainly want to make sure that that never comes here, because for those who have never been overseas and fought in war, or even been to a third world country, if that came here to America, oh my God, I can't even fathom that. So we try to keep it over there or wherever it may be, and just at least out of our country. But I know my brothers that I've lost, if they had the opportunity to be here and redo it all over again, nothing would change. They're heroes. They're more than heroes. They're angels. Those are the ones sent down from God. And doesn't matter what your political beliefs is my beliefs. They're angels sent down from God to affect your life and affect so many in a short period of time, to change the trajectory, to get us back on track. And then they go out to do something else that God had intended for them. That's what I believe. You don't get angels forever. You get them for a short period of time, and then you learn from that. And then you continue to try to live on through their legacy. So nobody died in vain. We were all there to do the right thing for America, for each other. And, you box it into, I fought for America. I wore the American flag. I will always wear the American flag. But when you're overseas in the middle of a bad operation, you are fighting for those to the left and the right of you. That's it.